For most of human history, going to the bathroom was a nightmare. Early humans just dug holes or squatted in the woods, but as soon as people started living together in cities, things got nasty fast. Around 5,000 years ago in ancient Mesopotamia in the Indus Valley, modern-day Pakistan, clever engineers built some of the very first toilet simple pits connected to drains that washed waste away with water. These were game changers for small towns, but they were rare. Fast forward to the Romans. They turned pooping into a social event. Public latrines had long stone benches with holes cut out, where dozens of people sat side by side, chatting and laughing. A sponge on a stick, called a tersorium, was passed around for wiping. Yes, the same sponge for everyone. Fresh water from aqueducts flushed everything into giant sewers like the famous Cloaca Maxima. It sounded advanced, but without understanding germs, diseases still spread like crazy. Romans had no idea that sharing that sponge or sitting so close was basically playing toilet Russian roulette. The Romans weren't the only ones with smart ideas. In Crete around 1700 BC, the Minoans at the Palace of Knossos built early flush toilets, wooden seats over drains that you could rinse with a bucket of water. In ancient China and Egypt, they had stone or wooden seats over pits, sometimes even using waste as fertilizer for crops. These systems work great in small numbers. But here's the dark twist. When empires fell, so did the toilets. After Rome collapsed, Europe forgot these lessons. People went back to chamber pot ceramic bowls kept under the bed. At night, you'd fill it up. Then in the morning, garde-lou, watch out for the water. And splash, it flew out the window into the street below. Castles had garderobes, tiny rooms sticking out over moats where waste dropped straight into the water. Sounds clever? It poisoned the drinking water and attracted rats. Sanitation basically vanished for over 1,000 years. Medieval Europe was a toilet horror show. Cities grew fast, but waste piled up in cesspits under homes or flowed openly down streets. No sewers, no flushing, just rivers of filth. The Black Death in the 1300s killed millions not just from rats, but because poor sanitation let bacteria and viruses thrive. Doctors wore weird bird masks stuffed with herbs to fight bad air, but they had no clue the real killer was the poop everywhere. By the 1800s, things got even worse. The Industrial Revolution crammed millions into dirty cities. Factories pumped out smoke, but humans pumped out something far deadlier. Cesspits overflowed. Cholera outbreaks caused by drinking water mixed with sewage killed tens of thousands in London alone. People died in agony, vomiting and pooping themselves to death. Doctors were clueless. The rich had fancy outhouses, the poor had nothing. It was a public health disaster waiting to explode. Then came 1858, the summer of the Great Stink. A heat wave hit London, and the Thames River turned into a giant open sewer. The smell was so bad that Parliament had to drape curtains soaked in chemicals just to keep working. MPs literally fled the building. Enough was enough. Enter Joseph Bazalgette, a brilliant engineer who built over 1,100 miles of new sewers under London. At the same time, flush toilets finally went mainstream. Sir John Harington invented the first real flush toilet back in 1596 for Queen Elizabeth I. He called it the Ajax, but it was too expensive and smelly for regular folks. Later inventors like Alexander Cummings added the S-bend trap in 1775 to stop sewer gases from rising up. Thomas Crapper? He didn't invent the flush toilet, that's a myth, but his company popularized affordable, reliable ones with clever valves and ballcocks. Suddenly, waste could be flushed away cleanly. Cities started mandating indoor plumbing. The dark age of poop was ending. Here's the mind-blowing part. Toilets didn't just make life smell better than, they saved the world. Clean sanitation slashed disease rates. Cholera, typhoid, and dysentery plummeted. Life expectancy shot up. Cities could grow huge without turning into death traps. Privacy exploded, gone were the days of public pooping. Families had indoor bathrooms. Women and children were safer. Economies boomed because healthy workers could actually show up to jobs. Today, the simple flush toilet has done more for human health than most medicines combined. The UN says access to proper toilets has saved millions of kids' lives since 1990 alone. But here's the dark reminder. Over 2 billion people worldwide still don't have safe toilets. In some places, open defecation causes the same deadly cycles we escaped 150 years ago. So next time you flush, remember, that quiet whoosh It's the sound of civilization winning. Toilets didn't just change bathrooms, they changed history, health, and humanity itself. Pretty wild, right? Word count: 912 if you're watching this on YouTube. Smash that like button, subscribe for more mind-blowing history docs, and drop a comment. What's the weirdest toilet fact you learned today? See you in the next one. Stay clean out there. By the early 1900s, the flush toilet finally stepped out of the rich man's mansion and into everyday homes. Indoor plumbing spread like wildfire in Europe and North America after World War II. Factories mass-produced affordable ceramic toilets with simple water tanks sitting right on the bowl. Toilet paper rolls, first marketed widely in 1902, replaced old newspapers and corn cobs for good. Cities expanded their sewer systems massively. What started with Bazalgette's London Miracle repeated across the globe. By the 1950s and 60s, most urban families in developed countries had their own private bathroom. No more running outside in the rain or sharing a smelly outhouse with the neighbors. This wasn't just comfort, it was a silent revolution in public health. Diseases that once wiped out neighborhoods became rare. Kids stopped dying from diarrhea at shocking rates. The simple act of flushing waste away safely let cities grow bigger, safer, and richer than ever before. Fast forward to today, and toilets have leveled up big time. In the 1990s, governments pushed for water-saving designs. LaFlow toilets now use just 1.6 gallons or less per flush instead of the old 5 to 7 gallons. Early models sometimes clogged, but engineers fixed that fast with better siphons and pressure systems. Japan took things to the next level with high-tech wonders. Walk into a fancy bathroom there and you'll find heated seats, built-in bidets that spray warm water, air dryers, and even soft music or lights to make the experience relaxing. Touchless automatic flushes keep things hygienic, no hands needed. Some smart toilets even analyze your waste to give health alerts, like detecting early signs of disease. Composting toilets are rising too, especially in eco-homes and off-grid spots. They use almost zero water, turn waste into safe fertilizer with natural bacteria, and cut down on sewage pollution. These innovations prove the toilet isn't stuck in the past, it's evolving to solve new problems like water shortages and climate change. Think toilets are just about convenience? Think again. Access to a clean private toilet has quietly transformed society in ways most people never notice. For women and girls, it means safety and dignity, especially during menstruation. No more missing school because there's nowhere clean to change. Studies show better toilets reduce feelings of shame and disgust while boosting mental well-being. Kids stay healthier, parents miss fewer work days, and entire communities become more productive. Economies grow when people aren't constantly sick. Healthy workers earn more, spend more, and build stronger societies. Proper sanitation also protects the environment by keeping rivers and groundwater clean instead of turning them into open sewers. One flush might seem small, but multiplied by billions, it has lifted millions out of poverty cycles caused by constant illness. Toilets aren't glamorous, but they've done more for equality, education, and economic growth than many flashy inventions combined. Here's the uncomfortable truth. While some of us enjoy smart toilets with music and warm water, over 3.4 billion people worldwide still lack safely managed sanitation. That's nearly half the planet. Around 419 million people practice open defecation, going in fields, bushes, or streets because they have no choice. This leads to the same nightmare we escaped in the 1800s: contaminated water, deadly diarrhea, and children dying needlessly. Every day, preventable sanitation-related diseases still claim too many young lives. In rapidly growing cities and developing regions, aging or missing infrastructure can't keep up. Climate change makes it worse. Floods spread waste. Droughts limit water for flushing. Dirty public toilets in some places spread germs through toilet plumes when you flush. The gap between the haves and have-nots is massive, and it's not just a health issue, it's about basic human dignity. The toilet revolution that changed the West is still unfinished for billions. So what's next for the humble toilet? The future looks incredibly exciting and necessary. Engineers and organizations like the Gates Foundation are reinventing the toilet for a world with limited water and growing populations. Imagine waterless toilets that turn waste into electricity or clean fuel using solar power. Self-cleaning systems with UV lights or special coatings that kill germs automatically. AI-powered smart toilets that monitor family health through waste analysis and even order supplies when needed. Composting and vacuum systems like those on airplanes are going mainstream for homes and cities. In space or on Mars colonies, future astronauts will rely on advanced closed-loop toilets that recycle everything. The goal? Make safe sanitation affordable and sustainable everywhere, even in the poorest communities. As climate challenges grow, these innovations will help us save water, reduce pollution, and build resilient cities. Toilets have always been more than porcelain and pipes. They're symbols of progress, health, and respect for human life. From ancient pits to tomorrow's high-tech wonders, they've quietly shaped civilization. Next time you sit down and hear that familiar whoosh, take a second to appreciate it. That simple invention didn't just handle waste, it helped humanity rise above filth, disease, and darkness. Word count for sections 6 to 10. Approximately 905. There you have it, the full 10-section story. The first 5 sections cover the ancient and dark history, while these continue into the modern era, impacts, challenges, and future. It's all connected, engaging, and easy to follow for your YouTube audience. If you want to combine script, voiceover tips, thumbnail ideas, or any tweaks, like adding more drama or facts, just let me know. Drop this in your video and watch the comments explode with "I never knew toilets were this important." Smash like if you're grateful for modern plumbing, subscribe for more hidden history, and comment which section surprised you the most. Stay clean, everyone,